morning, Seattle Unity. Welcome to church. You're beautiful people. The springtime's coming and you're pulling out all of your cute Sunday gear. Please stand as you are able. Hello, people at home. You also look fabulous, I bet. I can't see you, but I bet you look fabulous. This is a song that I don't think any of you will recognize. It's from Christian contemporary tradition, and we don't do a whole lot of that here, but I thought this one was sort of fun and applicable to our generation's theme. I'll sing it for you once, and you jump in when you'd like to. We are the light of the world. We are the people of tomorrow. We are the light of the world, and we gotta let the light shine. We are the light of the world. We are the people of tomorrow. We are the light of the world, and we gotta let the light shine. Let the light shine. Light shine. Let's try that together. We are the light of the world. We're the people of tomorrow. We are the light of the world. We are the people of tomorrow. We are the light of the world, and we gotta let the light shine. We are the light of the world. We are the people of tomorrow. We are the light of the world, and we gotta let the light shine. Yeah. Give yourself a little clap or a snap, I don't care, or some kind of arm movement, right? Because that's going to get your blood moving around, change your blood pressure a little bit. That makes you more open to experience. What are we doing down here? Oh, it's mosh pit. I get it. We are the light of the world. We are the people of tomorrow. We are the light of the world, and we gotta let the light shine. We are the light of the world. We are the people of tomorrow. We are the light of the world, and we gotta let the light shine. Yeah. Let us pray on this. We'll bring the energy down just a little bit. Reverend Karen.
And so we take a moment to turn our attention within as we know the truth of our opening statement. So let's affirm it together. There is but one presence and one power in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotence.
All right, we're going to pull the energy back up again. From here, look around at your neighbors, because when we say we are the light of the world, it's a we. It's not just me. I'm the light of the world, thank you. No, it's a community idea. So you want to take in these other people and allow them to be a light at you. Hey, we are. And they're the people of tomorrow. This is presuming we're all going to be here tomorrow. We don't know that for a fact, but we're going to claim it. I plan on being the people of tomorrow. I want you to do it too. Here we go. We are the light of the world. We are the people of tomorrow. We are the light of the world, and we gotta let the light shine. We are the light of the world. We are the people of tomorrow. We are the light of the world, and we gotta let the light shine. Let the light shine, yeah. Let the light shine, yeah. Thank you. Please be seated.
Good morning. Welcome to Seattle Unity, both in-house and at home. Let's turn to our vision statement this morning. We are an accessible and inclusive spiritual sanctuary for all ages and stages of life. We offer spiritual practices and a community that honors diversity and encourages self-empowerment. We co-create a world that works for all. Can I get an amen? All right. So for those of you watching at home, please type in where you're watching from, and if you have any prayer requests. And for us in the room, the prayer box is out in the lobby, so please fill that out if you have prayer requests. Couple of announcements. We have our quarterly community meeting at 11:30 upstairs on the 3rd floor. And then at noon is the Barbie movie. So I see some are wearing pink here today. Are there any new people with us? Is there anybody here for the first time? If so, would you raise your hand just so we can welcome? Thank you for joining us today. Is anybody from out of town? Where are you from? Texas, welcome. And you're from? Idaho, welcome. Nice to see you. Hello. It's John and Abby. John and Abby from Olympia, yay. Okay, 2 more announcements. We are going to the Mariners game on June 13th. It's a Thursday night. Tickets are $34. If you would like to come, please see me because I'm handling all those details, and I can transfer your ticket to you. We're in the 100 level this time. Yay. By the home plate, so we're not in the nosebleeds. I can't sit up there anymore. So Rose has an announcement.
Good morning, everybody. I would like to invite you to an open mic night, our second one in a while. It'll be on Saturday, May 11th, about 3 weeks from now, and everyone is welcome. So please join us to perform and or to just simply watch performances of any art form: dance, comedy, music, poetry, acrobatics, drama, a spiritual technique, whatever you've got. You'll get the floor for 5 minutes. The first 20 people to sign up will get a chance to perform that night. The next we'll have that abundance at another event. And so you can sign up with me after the service. I'll be in the lobby, or you can sign up at the door before 6 o'clock. And if you are a writer who needs a reader, I can probably find someone to perform your work. Beverages, including beer and wine, are welcome to be brought, as well as a love offering will be collected, but it's not required. Several volunteers are needed, so to sign up and volunteer, talk to me after the service. Again, it's May 11th, Saturday night at 6 o'clock. Thanks.
All right, now let's greet one another.
Stay standing as you are able. This is another Michael Stillwater tune. And at some point, we're going to split the room. And, you know, I might say this side of the room should do X, Y, Z. It's unity. You get to do whatever you want to. It's always just a suggestion. And we do have a few people with, like, oppositional leftovers that are like, I won't. I'm going to do the other side. Ha. Song goes like this. No, wait. Here's what I want to have happen. I want Leslie Jones to sing it because she's got such a pretty little voice. Go, sing that song. Okay.
I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory.
Let's do it. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. Second part goes like,
In the light, in the love, in the glory, in the light, in the love, in the glory, in the light, in the love,
you to follow Olivia and Ireland. Hey, Ireland Woods is back.
Thanks for having me.
She's awesome.
Happy to be here.
Yes, they're gonna do I am. You all follow them if you want to, if you agree. And we're gonna do in the light, in the love, in the glory. Yes, this whole side of the room. We're gonna try to do things together. And again, if it doesn't come to you, just dance harder. 1, 2, 3. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am. Same thing. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am. Switch sides. I am as God created.
In the light, in the love, in the glory.
In the light, in the love, in the glory. Well done, smart people. Please be seated. We're coming in towards a more contemplative part of the service, and in the center of every unity service is a meditation. Today it'll be 3 to 4 minutes of shared silence, so I encourage you to get comfortable in your chair right now. And you're always welcome to move and change seats if you're not comfortable wherever it is you are. But we want to try and get as deep a silence as we can. We'll have a slower song that we sing together to move into that energy. But the first step into this more contemplative space comes from our reading today from Therese Manger.
Today's reading is Today's reading is Our Mother's Prayer by Dennis Wianco. Our Mother, whose name is Earth, hallowed be thy ground. Praised be your lands and your skies and your rolling seas. Your gardens thrive, your spirit alive, through woodlands, streams, mountains, and plains, everywhere. Grant us this day our needs for tomorrow, and refresh us with your living waters. Forgive us our mistreatment, as we would forgive those who would cause you harm. Lift us from negligence and deliver us from greed. For yours is the home and the beauty and the life that sustains us, and we would love, respect, and care for you now and forever and ever forward.
This is a chant called Pachamama. And Pachamama is an embodiment of Mother Earth that shows up in shamanistic and indigenous observances and faith traditions all through Central and South America, but it got picked up by the kids from the Rainbow Gatherings, which is where I would learn from the white kids, white hippie children. But it's a beautiful concept. It's the idea of Mother Earth, but it does cross many boundaries, and it's shared and celebrated very generously by peoples of Central and South American cultures. My friend here, Zoe, is going to introduce it, and then she'll do a verse in the middle. But I encourage you to jump in and allow the feeling of, I'm going to say, Oregon Country Fair to come to you, which is quite relaxed. There's a sacredness to it, but it's not formal at all. And if you're someone who wants to harmonize, go ahead. This is a perfect time to try.
Pachamama, I'm coming home to the place where I belong. Pachamama, I'm coming home to the place where I belong. Pachamama, I'm coming home to the place where I belong. Pachamama, I'm coming home to the place where I belong. Pachamama, I'm coming home to the place where I belong. Pachamama, I'm coming home to the place where I belong. I wanna be free, 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 like the dolphins in the sea, like the bird flowers and the bees, like the birds up in the trees. I wanna fly high, 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 like eagles in the sky. And when my time has come, I lay me down to die. I wanna I'm coming home to the place where I belong. Pachamama, I'm coming home to the place
got the words to change a nation, but you're biting your tongue. Spent a lifetime stuck in silence, afraid you'll say something wrong. If no one ever hears it, how we gonna learn your song? So come on, come on, come on, come on. You've got a heart as loud as lions, so I let your voice be tamed. Maybe we're a little different, there's no need to be ashamed. You've got the light to fight the shadow, so stop hiding it away. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I wanna sing, I wanna shout, I wanna scream till the words dry out. Put it in all of the papers, I'm not afraid. They can read all about it, read all about it. Whoa, oh, 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 At night we're waking up the neighbors while we sing away the blues, making sure that we're remembered, yeah, 'cause we all matter too. If the truth has been forbidden, then we're breaking all the rules. So come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's get the TV and the radio to play our tune again. It's about time we got some airplay of our version of events. There's no need to be afraid, I will sing with you, my friend. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I wanna sing, I wanna shout, I wanna scream till the words dry out. Put it in all of the papers, I'm not afraid. They can read all about it, read all about it. Oh, 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 yeah, we're all wonderful, wonderful people. So when did we all get so fearful? Now we're finally finding our voices. So come on now, come help me sing this. We're all wonderful, wonderful people. So when did we all get so fearful? Finally finding our voices. So take a chance, come help me sing this. I wanna sing, I wanna shout, I wanna scream till the words dry out. So put it in all of the papers, I'm not afraid. They can read all about it, read all about it. Whoa, oh, 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 I wanna sing, I wanna shout, I wanna scream till the words dry out. So put it in all of the papers, I'm not afraid. You can read all about it. Read all about it. Oh.
Ireland Woods.
So let's hear it again for Ireland Woods. Raised in unity. So April 22nd, tomorrow, is both the first day of Passover and it's also Earth Day. So I wanted to combine these two events along with leadership and pioneering, which is our theme for the month. By the way, I'm starting a class this Wednesday called Development, and we're going to explore and develop leadership skills, but you have to register today for the class online. I meant to say that during announcements. So there's no doubt that Rachel Carson, the author of Silent Spring, is a leader and a pioneer. She raised the awareness of pesticide dangers for the first time. She shifted environmental consciousness. She argued that humans are not dominant to nature, but rather interconnected. Her book sparked the Environmental Protection Act in 1970, and this is also the same year that Earth Day was established on April 22nd. So we celebrate Earth Day. All we have to do is look at our beautiful trees and go, yay. So Moses is also a pioneer and a leader, and I have to warn you that I sort of fell down a Moses hole. I didn't intend to, but I kind of fell into the metaphysical unity world of Passover. So Moses led the people out of Egypt, and into the Promised Land. He led the people of Israel out of Egypt. So you may remember the movie, The Ten Commandments. I don't know if it's on much anymore. So I want to review it a little. So Passover marks the time when the angel of death passed over the houses of the Israelites and saved their firstborn, hence the word Passover. Now the Israelites leaving Egypt marks a breaking away of the life that they had led in slavery and in bondage. Now, Unity perceives the Bible as the story of stories of our soul's journey to awakening to the Christ consciousness. So the stories are like a map. They're like a template. That's like, okay, this is how you awaken. This is how you grow spiritually. So every story is the story of our soul. And Egypt and Egyptians metaphysically represent sense consciousness, material consciousness, the focus on the world. Israelites metaphysically represent spiritual consciousness. So the Exodus story is about the shift from material consciousness to spiritual consciousness that the soul must take in order to awaken. So we all have our Exodus. We all have our Exodus story. We've all awakened spiritually or wouldn't be here, right? We're on this path. So a little history. The Hebrews were enslaved by the Egyptians, and Moses was a Hebrew, and his mother was trying to save him. So what she did is she put him in a basket and she put him in the Nile River, and down he goes. And Pharaoh's daughter happens to be down by the river that day, and she pulls him out, and she falls in love with this baby, and so she raises him in the household of the Pharaoh. So he becomes royalty. Metaphysically, Moses represents the part of us that has learned to work with universal laws and knows how to interact with the material world. So it's how to be responsible, get a job, pay your bills, and it's a very important part of our growth. Now, when I lived in the ashram when I was in my early 20s, there were a lot of people there in their 20s, and many of us had said, we're releasing the world, and we're releasing materialism to venture into this spiritual realm. And it was like, well, that's easy, because what exactly did you give up? Not a whole lot. You know, many of us had not yet established ourselves, so there really wasn't much to let go of and nothing to sacrifice, really. So Moses is that part of us that's responsible, that shows up in the world. It's like, yeah, I know how to do this. Ed Rabel, he's one of my favorite unity teachers. He has long since passed, but he said, Moses symbolized the fact that a person has to first accomplish certain things. He has to grow up in certain ways in connection with the ordinary materialistic life before they're eligible for the higher and more intangible accomplishments leading to a more spiritual life. So before a person can take on self-responsibility for their own evolution, they have to first grow up as a material and sensual being. I like that. So we are both spiritual and human. We are body, mind, and spirit. And we need to attend to all three to celebrate being on the earth through our senses without getting lost in them. That's the key. So the key is to balance mind, body, and spirit. Now here's the deal. The body and the senses are very strong. And not only can they take over so that we believe that this is all there is, but it can control us. So we all have cravings, we all have addictions that throw us off our path to the point where we deny the whole spiritual being process. Anybody here? Kind of gone down the path where it's like, the body just controls everything. Yes, it's fun for a while. So Moses illustrates the maturing of responsibilities on the material and sense aspect of life that he handled quite well. He established himself, he was a member of royalty, he's educated, he's wise, he's in a position to be a leader and a pioneer. And even though he was a member of the royal household, he was also an Israelite. He was a Hebrew. And his people were enslaved by the Egyptians that he was living in their household. So he's a little bit conflicted here until he is observing one of his brethren being abused by an Egyptian, and he loses it and he kills the Egyptian. So what does he do? Does he take leadership and help change things? No, he runs away. He gets married. He lives a simple life. He takes care of his father-in-law's sheep. So he sees this conflict and this horrible thing that's happening there, and instead of stepping up to it, he runs away. I think he ran away for like 40 years or something. It was quite a while. So perhaps he wasn't ready. So I'm wondering, for you, have there been times in your life when you knew you were supposed to do something, but you weren't ready, and perhaps you even distracted yourself and you went down a whole different path rather than following your calling? Just totally went off and did something else. But here's the thing, we can't run away from our calling, because it's always going to be there in the back of our minds, nudging us and saying, you know, you're being called to something else. So anyway, Moses is just living his life, his simple life, minding his own business, and he went to try to find a lost sheep on Mount Horeb. And this is where he encounters the burning bush. And God speaks to him through the burning bush in Exodus 3. He says, I have seen the misery of my people in Egypt, and I've heard them crying out because of their slave drivers, and I'm concerned about their suffering. So I've come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians. So go now, he says to Moses. I'm sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. And again, does Moses say, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Yeah, I'm the man for the job. You pick the right person. Instead, he comes up with a whole list of excuses why he's not the person for the job. He says to God, why, He says to God, well, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt? Have you ever said that to yourself? Who am I? Who am I? I'm not good enough. Have you ever felt that you couldn't do something because you're not smart enough or rich enough or young enough or old enough, good enough? So that's his first excuse. Who am I? He also says, because God says, when he says, well, who am I supposed to say sent me anyway? And God's like, I am that I am, And he goes, well, yeah, suppose they don't believe me or they don't listen to me. And they say, hey, God didn't appear to you. Then what am I supposed to do? He also says, I'm a terrible public speaker. I stutter. Nobody's going to listen to me. And God goes, your brother's a pretty good speaker. Why don't you use him? He says, anybody, finally, he says, anybody, send anybody by the hand of whomever else you may send, but not me. And yet, he has to go. So have you ever been called to do something that you thought you weren't ready for, or you just didn't want to do it, maybe? Too lazy? And yet the Spirit of the divine in you pushed you anyway, and you did it. How many times do you have to overcome that lethargy, that I don't want to get up, I don't want to show up, I don't want to do this, and yet there's something higher, the Moses in us, is calling us forward. So Moses finally takes on this mantle of leadership. He confronts the Pharaoh and he says, let my people go. But Pharaoh has no intention of letting them go. Now, Pharaoh represents the ego. It's that part of us that feels separate. It's the past, the future, but not necessarily the present. It's that part of us that will look to others and go, so-and-so's better than me and so-and-so's worse than me, and we have a balloon trying to peek in the window. It's calling you, saying, there's a call to something higher. Listen to me. Go. So Ed Rabel says that the Pharaoh represents resistance to spiritual opportunities, resisting spirit, resisting one's own inner guidance. So it stops us from wanting to experience those higher thoughts. So God rains down 10 plagues on the people of Egypt. And some of the plagues are frogs falling from the sky, covered with boils, darkness, fiery hail. And still the Pharaoh will not let them go. So what are the plagues? What's with the plagues? Well, how long do you find yourself staying in an uncomfortable place or with a person or in a situation? Those are like plagues, are they not? When things are going well, we can just skate along. It's when things are painful that we change. So we almost need to be visited by plagues, not literally, but metaphysically. We need to be visited by plagues in order to make some kind of a shift and some kind of a change. The question is, how much can we tolerate before we're willing to change? And what are some of the metaphysical plagues that you're going to tolerate? So it was the 10th plague where the firstborn was taken by the angel of death, and that's what changed Pharaoh's mind. The Israelites were told again to put lamb's blood over their doorway so that the angel of death would pass over their household. And it's this final plague that the Pharaoh lets them go. So if the Pharaoh represents the ego, then sometimes it's when we have our greatest loss that we're finally willing to release and let go, right? It's that moments when we're brought to our knees where we go, okay, God, I give it up, I surrender, it's all yours, whatever this is for me. It's those moments when we hit bottom. It's those moments when we are just, there's nowhere else to go but to hand it over. So has that ever happened to you? And how did you change after that? Because those are some big moments in our life. So we kind of have this habit of waiting for things to get really bad sometimes before we're willing to change. And if Silent Spring was written in 1962, here we are, still trying to heed the warnings of climate change that were set forth back then. And it's like we've had to experience the effects of climate change before we've become willing to make any changes around how we think about the planet, that we're not dominant over the planet, but that we are interconnected. So April 22nd is both Passover and Earth Day. And after this, there's a whole other chapter for Moses and the Israelites as they seek the promised land, because it's not easy to leave Egypt behind. And it wasn't easy for them. In fact, they complained all along the way. It's not easy to leave an ego-centered, material-focused way of life behind and to focus on the spiritual. So the story of Exodus is your story. It's my story. It's our story. It's this breaking away that we need to break away to make changes. Ed Rabel again said, "Don't judge the Pharaoh in yourself and the things it has done or still does. Try to be fair to the whole of yourself. There is a kingdom in you called Egypt. And that's the part of you which is thoroughly immersed in the materialistic and sensual things of existence. It seems to the ego that if I go forward with certain spiritual disciplines and make changes in my character and lifestyle, then it can seem to be a threat to the existence of the Egyptian part of my life." So some of the questions are, when you're on the spiritual life, well, what do I have to give up? Do I have to become a vegetarian now? Do I have to do yoga every day? What are the things that I have to give up? Do I have to give up going out and having a good time? No, but it's a balance, again, the body, mind, and spirit. Because this is your path. You have a calling to be a pioneer and a leader, to change things. You may not feel worthy. You may not feel like you're wise enough or smart enough or young enough or old enough. You may make up excuses why it can't be you. And you may run from it for a while. But when you have a calling, it's not going to leave you. So don't wait until you're visited by plagues when things become intolerable. You have a purpose to fulfill that only you can fill. For you are strong, you are capable, you're a leader, and you are the expression of the presence, the power, and the activity of God. May it manifest in this Egypt in which we live. Amen. You're welcome. There'll be a quiz about Moses upstairs. So let's just take a moment. This is when we share our gifts, our donations, our love, our energy through our finances. So if you are touched by this spiritual community, I invite you to give to it. And we bless it with this statement: I give willingly, joyfully, and lovingly, knowing that God is the constant source of my supply. I give with graciousness and receive with gratitude.
Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. And then I pray, don't take me soon. Sometimes my tears are drowned, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that innocent, blood-drenched pavement. Keep on moving though the waters stay raging. In this maze you can lose your way, your way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it phase you away. Oh, sometimes my tears are drowned, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and the children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. One day this will all change. Treat people the same. Stop with the violence, down with the hate. 'Cause we can all be free and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom. Like, oh, this day, this day, this day. Oh, this day, this day, this day. 'Cause all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that you don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. This day, this day, this day. Oh, this day, this day, this day, this day. Sing it with us. This day, this day, this day.
Ireland Woods. Thank you.
So, chaplains, you want to come up with me and hold the space? And also, if you do have prayers, please know Melissa is here to pray with you following the service. So, I want to say hello to Greenwood, Bainbridge Island, West Lynn, Oregon, Federal Way, Port Orchard, Corvallis, West Seattle, Kenmore, Silver City, New Mexico, Wedgwood, West Seattle, Linwood, Shasta, and Redmond. So welcome and thank you for watching. And just a reminder, Louise Carnahan is leading a discussion online following the service. So those of you who are watching from these places and more, please stay online so that you can connect with her. So now let's turn to our prayers. I invite you to turn your attention within. And first of all, we want to put a blessing on our offering as we are grateful for each giver and know that you have created a vacuum through which more good, prosperity, abundance will enter your life. And so I invite you to redirect and recognize that you are an instrument of spirit, and we direct this light now to Fatima, to Steve and Terry, to Dave and Jim, Diana, Marcia, Carl, Mary, to Gaza, Israel, the Ukraine, Russia. I invite you to take a breath, and we send our love to Aunt Pat and Keith. We take another breath, and we send healing energy to Beth and Henry, Hannah, Carolyn, Fred and Bruce, Jenna and Gail. We see that spirit of light going before Scott and Cody, April, Tara, Sam, and Randy. I invite you to recenter yourself as we also send light, love to Steve and Dave, Kelly and Susan, Rick and Bill. We hold in the light John and Kathy, Sabrina. We celebrate Kara, who ran a marathon today in England. We hold and we bless Beth for healing, Bruce, Maureen, Constance, Andrea, Lucy, Penny, and hold divine order for Dennis and anyone else who has entered your mind. Please speak their name into this prayer energy and light right now. And so we affirm our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Heather. Let's stand up and sing a closing song together. This is real easy. This is just Shanti. I also want to say thank you to the band and the fabulous backup singers, and remind you, in a couple of weeks, like 2-3 weeks, we do an annual Mother's Day slideshow. So now's the time to send me pictures of your foremothers. It can be grandmothers, godmothers, stepmothers, you as a mother. But send me those pictures, or if you've sent something before, you have to give me permission every year. I know that's really annoying, but I don't know what's going on with you and how you feel about your mom. I'm not just going to throw something up there every year without asking. You can find out more information about where to send that and the emails and all of that on our website. For right now, let's sing. I'm going to hold hands. And as always, if you are not into holding other people's hands, that's okay too. It's unity. You're allowed to say thanks, but no. We're going to sing this song, Shanti, Shanti, Let It Begin With Me. It's real easy. Start harmonizing it as soon as you feel like it. Shanti, Shanti, let it begin with me. Shanti, Shanti, let it begin with me. Yeah, yeah. Shanti, Shanti, let it begin with me. Shanti, Shanti, let it begin with me. Yeah. Shanti, Shanti, let it begin with me. Oh, Shanti, Shanti, let it begin with me.
You sounded wonderful. Yeah.